The literal last words in A Midsummer Night's Dream go to Puck, to our bumbling fairy servant who has caused mischief on the way to sorting everything out, making everything worse before it's better, a classic comedy trope itself. I want to look at that last speech. Here, let me give it a quick read. If we shadows have offended, think but this, and all is mended. That you have but slumbered here, while these visions did appear, and this weak and idle theme no more yielding than a dream. There's that word, dream. Gentles, do not reprehend. If you pardon, we will mend. And as I am an honest Puck, if I have unearned luck, now to escape the serpent's tongue, we will make amends ere long. Else the Puck a liar call. So good night unto you all. Give me your hands if we be friends, and Robin will restore amends. Robin here is Robin Goodfellow, our boy, aka Puck. I want to talk first of all about the meter there. Is that iambic pentameter? No, it is in no way iambic pentameter. And you know this too. How do I know it's not iambic pentameter? Am I using some kind of secret PhD Shakespeare scholar knowledge? No. I know it's not iambic pentameter for the same reason you know it's not iambic pentameter. Because I, like you, have a high school diploma, and I, like you, can count to 10. I count the syllables in that speech. I do not get 10. I get 8 or 7, sometimes even less than 7. This is not iambic pentameter, which requires at least 10 syllables, sometimes 11. If we shadows have offended, does not if we shadows have offended, I have 8 syllables, not pentameter. Now that could be the shorter version, the 4-foot line tetrameter, but it's not. How do I know it's not tetrameter? Because it's not a full 4 feet either, because offended and mended end with unstressed syllables. You can hear them rhyme on the second to last syllable on the last stressed syllable. What Puck is speaking, what Oberon was speaking immediately before him, is accentual verse that only counts the beats. It is a 4-beat line with, however, where the unstressed syllables kind of come out in the wash. It clusters around 7 syllables, and this is very common in folk rhyme in the English language, and especially in folk song and popular song. This is the meter you use for a song. If it sounds a little sing-songy, it should. It's in the meter for singing songs. If you look at the third or fourth line of the speech, that what you have but slumbered here, as while these visions did appear, we've got that classic 7-syllable start and end with stressed syllables, alternating generally in between, but not always. Up above, you can see Oberon has a line that's just 6 syllables long. It's trip away, make no stay. Meet me all by break of day. Okay, so the fairies are in there outside iambic pentameter, outside kind of elite verse, doing a kind of folk verse, though folk verse is done by an elite literary author. It's also worth noting, if we have 3 kinds of communities in this play who live in 3 different kind of ideas of the universe, it's the fairies who can see the audience. It's the fairies who cross the line at the end and step out. If we shadows have offended, Puck is talking to us. This is an epilogue. It's a typical thing. Shakespeare doesn't always do it. He often does it. And there may be some epilogues that he wrote for plays. And just don't, because it's not a necessary. You can tack it on or take it off. Sometimes this play appears without the epilogue. So, I'm sorry, sometimes it comes without the excellent. It always has the epilogue in the, but it doesn't need to. If we shadows have offended, Puck is speaking directly to the audience. In the end, give us your hands if we be friends, and Romulus submits. He's literally asking for hands. He's asking for applause. Clap for us. Thank you, good gentles. Gentles is a term for both gentlemen and gentlewomen, conveniently 2 syllables long. He's asking the nice folks in the audience to give the crowd, to give the cast a hand. That's all he's doing. The We Shadows suggests that it's both the fairies and the actors themselves. It covers both. it evokes both. While the clowns are the ones who've been kind of doing theater and doing it badly, here it is the fairies, not the clowns, who step across the line, separating the theater, the world of the play, from the world of the audience. Interestingly, that's normally the clown's gig in Shakespeare. The clown is usually the one who gets to not only be anachronistic, to kind of be much more 1596 than whatever the alleged date and place of the play is. The clown is always from like Greater London right now, wherever the rest of the play is happening. The clown is also, even more than the other characters, allowed to step across that line, address the audience, deal with the fact that, hey, we're standing in a theater. Shakespeare's clowns tend to talk to the audience and register the presence of the audience the way stand-up comics do in live comedy today. If you will never go to see stand-up comics and see a whole bunch of people pretending we're not there and they're in some imaginary world. They interact, they know we're there. Shakespeare's clowns do the same thing. Here, he's given that normal clown bit away to Puck. Puck is the shadow. The fairies here are the ones who can cross the line, who understand the world, who can see the world of the audience. Not only can they see the world of the Athenians and the world of the Mechanicals, none of whom can see them, they can see the audience in the theater or curtain playhouse too. This play is older than the Globe Playhouse. It's probably performed in a playhouse called The Theater, capital T Theater, as I said in our Zoom class this week. Or for a while they rented a place called The Curtain, which was recently, its ruins were recently discovered under London. Thank God for people who dig up parking lots. Okay, so we end in a kind of literary version of folk singing, folk rhyme, and it's the fairies who have the last word.